Gunline. Fire mission coming down. We got a special treat for y'all today on the Midweek Memo. Instead of doing the usual shit that me and Cruz would do, we're hosting and moderating a motherfucking great debate with two delegates. One riding with Biden, the other on that Trump train. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Lee Hunt for the left.
Yo.
And you know also Mr. MAGA himself, Old Chooks.
Yo, what up?
It can't go on without introducing my co-host, OJC Cruz.
What's up?
I'm
not picking sides on this one, so I'm not even gonna. We're just gonna say hi.
He's already picked a side.
We're just moderating today, baby. We're moderating today. So, hey, I want to thank y'all, first of all, for joining me here so we can have this great discussion. Honestly, I think we're going to get more out of this than most motherfuckers would on a goddamn debate. We're going to do this the Gunline style. You know how we did it out there on the line, baby. Come with it. No thin skin. No bitch made crybaby shit. We all know each other. And with that said, I want to go ahead and give, let's go ahead and start off with the left. Go ahead, Mr. Lee Hunt. Let us know for the next 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes on this to let us know who you are and why you're voting for Biden.
All right. So once again, I am the one, the only, can't clone me, L Hunt, L Magnificent, that guy, skinny dude. But yeah, man, listen, I'm voting for Biden, man. I am riding with Biden. I don't think 2 minutes is going to be enough, but I'm going to try to sum it up as best as I can. I like, as Trump would say, he likes his war heroes that weren't captured. I like my presidents that don't disrespect American soldiers that were captured as POWs. That's what I like in a president. That's number one. Number two, I like my American presidents that didn't have to pay a porn star more than he paid in taxes. You know what I'm saying? To keep the porn star quiet. That's number two. Number three, I like an American president that is not going to make fun of a reporter with disabilities. All right, now I got this. I'm a huge leftist. I've been that way my whole life. Some of y'all know that. It annoyed a lot of y'all while we were in, but it is what it is. Growing up in Texas, being a leftist, man, I was better off being gay than growing up in Texas being fucking
You're not?
You know what I'm saying? Would have been better off. But like I said, I don't need all 2 minutes, man, because I'm going to go ahead and delegate the next 45 seconds to my counterpart, Machuca. But before I do, I just want everybody to know this. This man is not my enemy. We had good times when we were younger, partying in the club, taking our shirts off, acting the fool, just showing out. So before anybody think me and Chooks hate each other, you got to know a little bit about our background. Other than that, hey, God bless y'all, man.
Just like a damn liberal saying, I'm going to give you this back, but he takes it back from you.
But he keeps it.
All right, Chooks, you got it, baby. The floor is yours. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
What up, y'all? First of all, big shout out to Hunt for having the cojones to come on here and do this, knowing that I'm going to run him through the mud right now. So big props to you. Like you said, we do know each other. We're friends. Go way back. We were roommates. Once upon a time, we spent quite a lot of time in Iraq together. We were roommates out in Iraq for a while. So we know each other. We know each other pretty well. So this is not, I'm not debating some stranger here. But I want to say it almost is like he's a stranger. I would have never thought in a million years that this would be your opinion. I assumed you would be Democrat, but I never assumed that you would jump on board with that Marxist organization, the terrorist organization known as Black Lives Matter. I would have had no idea that you would, because you're a patriot like me, like everybody in this chat, right? Everybody in this thing right now. We're all patriots. We're all in the army together. So obviously we bleed the American flag. We are all out in Iraq together, several tours. I know you guys have done just as many as me, if not more. I did my 4 tours in Iraq. So I know that you guys bleed the same red, white, and blue blood that I do. So that's what gets me about somebody like Hunt telling me that they're on board with the BLM movement. Now, that's my little initial rant. Let me just tell you why I support Trump. Well, for the main reason he's making America great again, right? You get people like Biden who have been running this place down into the ground. Democrats, every Democratic city, if you look back, every Democratic city, you hear it all the time. It's run down, and it's been run down since a Democrat got into office.
10 seconds remain.
But anyway, Trump, he keeps his promises. He campaigned on a bunch of stuff, and he kept all his promises. He did more than he promised, and he continues to do more. So
Right
that's
on.
why Trump 2020 all day.
And we appreciate that. All right, too easy. So we've got our introductions in. Let me go ahead and bring in my co-host here, my co-moderator, Jordan Cruz. And Jordan, that feels weird calling you fucking Jordan.
That does feel weird.
Yeah.
I don't even like hearing it.
It is kind of weird.
All right, Cruz, go ahead and start off this motherfucking debate with the first question, Chief.
All right. So first question I have, and this isn't a Trump Biden thing, but it does affect both of the people you're supporting. Should there be an age limit to someone who runs for president?
And who's that to?
Oh, that's to hey, whichever one of y'all wants to get in on this one first, because both of them are old as fuck. Okay, one of them, and then we'll go into more questions as far as their age in a minute. But so as far, what about you, Chooks? Do you think there should be an age limit?
For the longest time, I've said yes. I've had this discussion, and I do think there should be an age limit because, as we're learning right now, you know, these guys both being in their late 70s, that, like, especially for Biden, we know that Biden's not running for president. He's going to be dead before his term is up. We all know this. You could see him walking. He can barely breathe. He's always out of breath. Trump just recovered from COVID in days. And he's fine. So that's the only argument I would say for not having an age limit, because Trump is like a whole different 70s than your average person. Trump goes for days. He's doing 5 rallies today. I don't know if you guys know that. Biden, he's been in the basement for days. He's going to be there till the debate on Thursday. He's going to be in the basement, and he can do 1, maybe 2 rallies a week when he's at full capacity, which is not mental capacity. He doesn't have that, but when he's at full physical strength, I guess he could do more, but still 1 or 2 debates a week if they're lucky. He has everybody else is fighting his fight. The media, he's got the Obama out there getting ready to do a rally for him. You got the other little socialist guy out there doing a rally for him. You can't even call it what he does rallying though. The whole left, you can't call them rallies because it's like 2 people in a parking lot. I watched one earlier of Biden at one of his rallies, and there's like 10 cars. He's not even having rallies. He's having like a drive-through, like a drive-in movie for a rally. So
and that is time.
That
is time. That is time. All right. And I guess the same question goes to you, Mr. Lee Hunt. What do you got?
Yeah, so here's the deal. My opponent and my gracious, person I'm debating with didn't fully answer the question. He dodged it like normal Trump people do and deflected to different questions and why this and Trump is doing this and Trump is doing that. But here's the deal. Just like there is an age limit to when you can run for president, there needs to be an age limit to where you are president. Now, that would fall in Trump not being allowed to be president, because even though Biden is older than him and they're both running, if Trump were somehow to win the election, he would fall in that same category. So that's why I do believe there should be an age limit. If you were going to reach that age limit within your second term, you shouldn't be president. Just like you shouldn't be president if you were going to go in that certain age limit. Now, 2 things real quick. Mr. Machuca, you talked about, Biden not being fit. There's plenty of pictures where Trump is holding a bottle of water with 2 hands. I mean, come on, man. Like, who does this? A mentally ill person. That's who the fuck does that. Y'all excuse my language. And now, as far as like, there's just so much, like, I don't know about you, but if my child had COVID, I would be more worried about being with my child than being in rallies. But that's just me. And with that, I drop the mic and yield my time.
All right. Well, I want to follow up on
I'll take up the rest of your time. I'll take up the rest of your time. As far as being worried about your children having COVID, that's what's wrong with the left. You guys are pushing this fear that somehow your little children are going to die of COVID when no kids die from COVID. I'm more afraid of my child. Get out of here with that, dude. That's ridiculous. Look at the stats. 99.999% of all children are going to survive it. So why are you afraid for your children having COVID?
All right. Follow up. I got to follow up on that. All right. Too easy. So with the age limits, I have a follow up for that. So who do you believe? Because I believe that both of these motherfuckers, regardless of who wins, ain't gonna finish the whole term. All right. So who, in your opinion, is more experienced and why? Kamala or Pence? And we'll start with Hunt.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. If you're talking about as far as like something on a large federal scale,
I'm talking about to take position of the president.
That's what I'm saying. Like
on
that's
day
what I'm saying. If we're gonna talk about something on a large federal scale, I don't like Pence, but Pence has been in that position to do that as a vice president. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm not sticking up for Pence. If we're gonna talk about who has been at least in that orbit, Pence has been in that orbit. Do I think he's right for the job? No, I do not. But I'm going to.
Is he more qualified than Kamala then?
I don't think he's more qualified, but I think he's been in the orbit to do it. Like you can't be qualified. And this is going to bring up another question. And I want y'all to fact check this. Olivia Troya, she was right-hand woman to Mike Pence during the height of the COVID pandemic. She was on his team. She said, and I quote, and I'm sorry, I hope I don't go over the time.
Oh, you got a few seconds left.
It was toward the middle of February when we knew that it was not a matter of if COVID would hit, but when and how big the pandemic would be.
You know what? We're going to hit on COVID in a little bit.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that goes back to like he's inept to deal with the situation. Yes, he's quote unquote, I wouldn't say have experience, but he's been in that environment.
Okay. So with that said, I appreciate that answer. Chooks, why is Pence more qualified than Kamala to step up? Because in my opinion, I don't think either of those two. Dude, I think we lost Chooks.
Oh, that sucks.
We lost his
Chooks,
voice.
Audio.
It's your audio, baby. You're on mute. All right. So while he hooks up his audio, I'll give you my opinion. I don't think that these presidents are gonna fucking live to last their term. All right. So that's why I'm saying we're actually voting for the next president via vice president.
Yes.
And
so let me say,
Pence didn't sleep his way to his position.
How did Kamala do it?
I don't know, man. Hey, I read what's on the
But you just said that Pence didn't do it, which would imply that Kamala did it. So how did Kamala do it?
Word on the streets is that she did some things.
So word is fake news because there's no actual person to back this up. So what you're saying is you're believing.
Well, she did have an affair. We do know she was having an affair with that dude.
We got Chooks back.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We got you.
I didn't hear any of that. I came in and you guys were talking about there was no proof that Kamala Harris was on her knees for her job.
So yes, the question is, why is Kamala? Who is more suited for the job of president, Kamala or Pence?
Well, we know just from the debate a little while back that Pence, he wiped the floor with her.
I'm talking.
That's the question. That answers the question right there. It wasn't even a contest. It was like a grown person picking on like a little 2-year-old. He's just slapping around, tossing around, doing whatever he wanted.
All right. What was your question, Cruz?
Oh God, I don't even remember now. It just went off. And
I think Hunt wants to
okay, so let me ask a question. This one's going to be towards Hunt. All right, and don't worry, I'm going to have more for Machuca too. That in regards to this, what do you have to say to people about what could be seen as early sign, maybe cognitive issues, maybe early signs of dementia when it comes to Biden?
Well, I would say that there is a concern.
Real quick, I just want to say I'm not saying that is a thing. I'm just saying that's what the public perception is.
Yes, the public perception is that there are cognitive signs of some form of dementia toward Biden. I'm not going to deny that. But if we're just going to look at Biden and his slipping up and saying that, there's been a lot of gaffes that he's done. I'm not going to be afraid to admit that. But if we're going to look in his cognitive potential disorders, we need to look at the fact that that there are professionals that were questioning, like I said, him holding a bottle of water with 2 hands like an infant. We have to look at the fact that when I believe it was at West Point where he was looking down, going down the stairs real slow and holding on the rails. You have these neurologists. What are they? Y'all know what the word is.
Neurologists?
There we go. Them motherfuckers. Right? You got them motherfuckers that were like, hey, there's something going on. There's some cognitive dysfunction there that needs to be, evaluated. So if we're going to evaluate Biden for his, we still need to put on the table for evaluating honestly Trump with his.
Trump volunteered to do just that. Biden refused.
So, all right,
I mean,
guys. Before y'all get into this, I don't without, and this is for Chooks too, because it's about to be your turn. Let's not let the answer refer to, well, this guy did that. Let's just your answer to the people who you're trying to convince to vote for Biden. How do you make them feel better about what we see from him?
Well, I mean, I guess the basic answer is that yes, he's a little bit older, just like Biden. He's a little bit older. So is there a chance that he might not make it through his presidency? Well, of course. I mean, if you look at the average age of death in the U.S., of course, there's a chance that he's going to die during his presidency. Nothing that he has done, is doing leads me to believe that he is not going to make it through the next 4 years. This guy, like I said earlier, is a beast. He's doing 5 rallies today, did 3 rallies yesterday. I think he might have taken like a day off, but then he was 2 rallies the day before that, 2 rallies the day before that, and the man just recovered from COVID. So how are you going to tell me, how can anybody sit here and tell me that this man does not have, 1, the mental acuity, and 2, the physical ability to make it through the next 4 years? Is absolutely ridiculous. Versus Biden, every time he opens his mouth, every time he's on the news, well, he's never really on the news because he always refuses to answer questions. But if he is on the news, he's messing up. He's slurring his speech. He's talking. He can't even get out a sentence without doing something just like that. If you ask him a simple question, what is your name? God damn it, why are you asking me these questions? That's exactly what he does. He has fits of rage. They're little, but you can see it. There's little fits of rage. If you get him on a question that is potentially going to stump him, he gets mad and he goes on these little mini tangents where he yells at people.
Your turn, Hunt. Go ahead.
You guys all see it.
Retort, Hunt.
Retort. Okay, so does Biden get a little bit frustrated and flustered? Yes, he does. But one thing that we are taking out of content, that the man does have a stuttering problem. This has been diagnosed well before he even ran for presidency.
Okay.
So we can't just say that, this is a fit of rage. When we know, if we actually do the studies, that, things do trigger people to stutter and to slur their words when they have these issues. So we can't say that this person doesn't have the mental acuity because he stutters or he gets frustrated. This is a disease that somebody has, so we can't blame that on it. We have to look at, I know this is going to be hard for the Republicans, but we have to look at science. And when science comes, facts.
So, okay, with that fact, so he has a mental disease. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't call it a mental disease. I'm not a professional. I say it's a disorder. It is a disorder. I say he has not a mental disorder, but he has a disorder.
But is it something that could affect his knowledge or affect his presidency?
No, it's not, and this is why. Because I believe it was Roosevelt who was in a wheelchair. He was suffering from polio. So if that
talking about Roosevelt and polio, we're talking about this fuck in his mind.
I'm saying, like, even though him stuttering is not gonna affect his mental acuity from being able to listen to what professionals and people, career professionals,
it's crazy.
Are telling him.
All right, Lee, I'm going to interrupt you for a quick second, dude.
I'm talking.
We're talking about his memory. Why don't let's talk about the fact that this guy seems to forget that for the past 50 years he's been saying on record, on tape, racist comment after racist comment. How can you, as a black man,
moving on to racism,
go vote for this guy who clearly hates black people? He has said it a million times, the racial jungle comment. I just sent you guys, look in your phone right now. I just sent you a little video of Biden himself dropping the N-bomb when referring to a mayor that wanted to be elected. He said, we don't need the N-word, this N-word. I just sent that video to you guys. You guys can watch. It's like 10 seconds long. It's Biden talking about a black senator,
all right,
who's running for mayor, or a guy who's running for mayor, calling him the N-word.
All right,
so how can
let's let Hunt
defend that? He has never apologized for a single racist comment that he has ever made.
Let's see what he has to report.
All he does is tiptoe around it. So I didn't do it. He forgets that we live in this day of technology where you can bring up everything.
All right, Hunt. All right,
let's let Hunt.
Let's go ahead. Uninterrupted. You got 1 minute. I'll give you 2 minutes on that one.
I won't even need 2 minutes because I'm going to break it down simple. Central
Park
Park 5
is out of this area. Let's go.
Central Park 5 is how I will still vote for somebody that also did and say negative things about Black people. So you had 5 teenagers who were innocent and were coerced into admitting something that they know they didn't do because they didn't have their parents with them. They didn't have the lawyers with them. But what did Trump do? Trump put out an ad in the paper calling for the death penalty of 5 innocent Black kids. And to this day, he still has not regretted that. He still has not said he's sorry. So I will vote for a man that's worked alongside of a Black man. And this is something else too. I hate the fact when people say, what are they doing for the Black community? This is the United States of America, not the United States of just Black people, not just the United States of white people, not the United States of Mexican people, not the United States of Asian people. This is the United States of America. So I don't care if a president goes out of his way to do something for Black people, because this is the United States of America, not the United States of Black people.
So you don't care that
the Indians are probably sad that y'all left them out.
Meanwhile, Biden has went out of his way to hurt the Black community. You don't care about that? Is that what let me get that right? You said you don't care that Trump has went out of his way to help Black people, because that's what just came out of your mouth. You said you don't care that he helped the Black community. But
are you talking about
Biden's whole career, he's done nothing but lock Black people up. The 94 crime bill, what's up with that?
Yeah, the 94 crime bill was horrible. 94 crime bill was horrible. People changed. Listen, people
changed. Now, how come he's never apologized for a single bit of it?
He actually has.
No, he has not.
Okay, and all of these apologies, does it really make a fucking difference if they really don't really, if they weren't called out on it? Do you think they would apologize? Let's be real. So they can suck a dick with their apologies, because their apologies don't mean shit, because they're just apologizing because they got caught. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with even if he did apologize. I'm not saying he did or didn't. I don't know. But even if he did,
man. People don't change like that. You telling me that he grew up? He was born in what, the 40s, and he grew up in the heart of racism. And you're telling me that somehow over the 70 years that followed, that he became less racist? Oh, come on, get out of here.
Where did he go? Did he just get kicked off?
He got scared.
Nah, there he is.
Oh, there it goes. No. So if I can real quick, because this happened January 2nd, January 22nd, I'm sorry, 2019, Biden apologizes for the 90s Crime Bill Act. And this is not coming from CNN. This is easily Google. You can Google this shit. Biden apologizes. He was in Chicago and he apologized for what happened, for his supporting of the crime bill.
Did he support it or write it?
Oh, yeah.
As former Biden,
did he ever apologize for the fact that he gave a eulogy for the head of the KKK, called him his mentor and a good friend and good person? That was his mentor, the guy from the KKK. I forget his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Public on video giving this guy's eulogy. That's next level. You're going to the KKK funeral saying how good of a person this is. Oh, this is my mentor. And you're telling me now somehow he's less racist? Get out of here, man.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and pause on that note, and we're going to go ahead and move on to another topic. Let's talk about which fucking president. Let's talk about, what do you got, Cruz? I was going to go into foreign fucking policy on each one. What do you got?
Okay, so what do I got? Okay, so I got a few notes here. All right, so okay, I actually have a lot on here. So one, okay, so I'm gonna have a return question for Chu. So I'm gonna start with Hunt. So with Biden being in office for 47 years, he says he's going to make a lot of changes, do a lot of things. What is he going to do different now as president that he didn't do as vice president or the other 43 years, or 39 years he was in office, not counting his time?
Okay, so he was in the Senate. So and I got it how the Senate and the White House and all that stuff is different.
Yeah.
There's just so much that he could do as a vice president too. He could try to influence, certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost Hunt.
There he is.
No, we got you. Yeah,
I'm here, man. There was something going on. Yeah, man. Like, once again, people change, and not to. I know y'all see me drinking or whatever, but at the same time, for y'all to know me,
this one might take a few shots. Yourself a few shots.
I'm going to tell you why people change, right? Y'all know me. Y'all know I was a strict atheist, a huge atheist. I'm not that way anymore. But for people to, I guarantee you, some people are still going to judge me and be like, how can you change like that? I can change because I decided to make that change. There was something in me that woke up and said, this isn't working. I need to look at things a different way. So who am I to judge somebody for if I believe that they made that same change in life, that they've had people talk to them? I don't care how old you get, change is possible. It is. Now, as far as what he can do, as far as what he's going to do as president, man, listen, Trump said, what do you have to lose for voting for me, black people? I say we have over 200,000+ Americans dead. That's what we had to lose. So now what do we have to lose for voting for Mr. Biden? Somebody listening to scientists, somebody that's not going to discredit scientists. That's what we have not to lose. And I believe that's what he will do if he's elected, is actually listen to scientists.
You sound just like a lemon on CNN, man.
What do you got?
You just regurgitate like everything that you just said right now. I might as well have just clicked on MSNBC.
Okay.
That's all you did was just regurgitate everything you just heard. Let's talk about 200,000 dead, 228 or 230,000, whatever it's at right now. I think is it's closer, 230,000. That's such a bullshit fucking number, because all those 230,000, except for 10% of them, had comorbidities. If you know what that means they had other existing conditions. So they didn't die from COVID. They died because they were obese, or they already had heart problems, or they had cancer or whatever. And they would have died from the flu. They would have died from a freaking mosquito bite anyway. They were already on their way out. So don't tell me 230,000 when the real figure is probably like 20, if you're talking about COVID alone. Now, I forgot where I was going.
So, okay, all right, real quick, let me get in here. All right, I was going to ask you different
CNN facts, man. It's like, come on, man. At least come with originality. Come with your own thoughts.
All right, Cruz,
Okay,
got it, Cruz.
no, I gotta answer this.
It's on Cruz.
Hey, I was going to ask you a different one, but since you
Mr.
went to
Vice
COVID,
President, please.
All right.
Go ahead, Cruz.
Hold on. Okay, so you brought up COVID. Now the video, there was the recording released at Trump or whatever. He knew it was bad, but didn't. What do you have to say to people who look at that like, okay, well, he knew it was bad and didn't do enough to help it, but when he went out there, he played it off as if it wasn't that bad. How do you tell people to trust him now?
That's Chooks.
Chooks for you. Sorry.
No, I thought you were talking to Hunt. I'm sorry. I said
no. I was just, when I said it now, I was just telling him to hold on. Okay, how the way Trump reacted, it's not a big deal. We're gonna get over. The hope thing. Yeah, I guess that was good. But whenever the new thing was
about how he played it down for the public.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We were all in the army. If I was your fucking platoon sergeant and we were going on a crazy mission where I knew some of us were gonna fucking die, do you think I would tell you that right before we went on the fucking mission? Hey guys, we're getting ready to kick in this door right now, and I promise you that 20% of you guys are gonna die, but I want you to keep your head up and I want you to stay strong for us, okay? No, y'all would freak out and it'd make more people die because you guys would freak out and people wouldn't be, kicking in a door all hesitant because they're scared because they know that some people are gonna die. You want a leader that is gonna tell you, hey, we got this. I don't care. I don't care what the science says. I don't care what everybody says. We are gonna go in there, we're gonna kick this door down, and we're gonna kill the enemy.
Go ahead.
That's the kind of leader I want, not a leader who's gonna tell me that, oh, we're all gonna die and we're gonna freak out. No, you don't want to freak the fucking public out. When you're in charge, you're supposed to take charge and make people respect and feel what you're saying. Not somebody who's just gonna fucking cry and say, "Oh, we're all gonna fucking die. You guys hide in the basement with your mask on by yourself."
All right, moving on to Hunt. You got 2 minutes, baby. 2 minutes, because I might have to stop this recording and restart again and send a new invite.
Yeah, no problem. So to counter that, one thing. So once again, before we went out on missions, what happened? We had an S2 briefing to tell us, hey, listen, this is the threat in the area. This is what you need to be on the lookout for. That did not make people less weak because they were told, listen, this is in the area. This is what you need to be on the lookout for. That didn't make it a leader weak because he told his people that you need to be on the lookout for this. That made everybody more cautious and made everybody look and be on the lookout for this.
You're also operating under the assumption that we get an S2 briefing. We didn't have a briefing on COVID because it was brand new. Do you not realize that?
Okay, all right, let him finish.
Yeah, so that's one thing. But when you say that, listen, I have the information that this is coming down the pipes, that it's more serious than what it is, right? As a platoon leader is going to get that briefing from the S2. The platoon leader is going to come back and give a brief synopsis of, hey, this is the threat assessment. I'm not going to go into detail, but this is what you need to do to help prepare yourself just in case this happens. That's what leaders do. Now, as far as going back to where Mr. Machuca said that, the most people didn't die of COVID because they had underlying issues, that's very true. But check this out. When people die of AIDS, we don't say they died of the flu. We don't say they died of this. AIDS is still another underlying issue why people die, because they got infected with the virus.
Because AIDS breaks down your immune system. You can't compare those two.
Exactly, but their death is still contributed to AIDS. AIDS was the cause for their underlying that exacerbated their underlying issue to kill them. It was still the cause of it.
And you can't even trust that figure anyway, because we have already learned that everybody's blowing these facts out. They're forcing hospitals to up their numbers to get more money. So that's what you say, 230,000. Those aren't COVID deaths. Those are the hospitals and politicians pumping those numbers up to scare people so they'll vote for Biden, because he knows all the answers.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to stop on the COVID right there. So check this out. We're stopping the COVID right there. We're going to go hit. We've already talked now COVID. I think COVID is a dead fucking dog we can't beat anymore. We've discussed. We want to touch back on racism when we get back. Mainly, I want to go ahead and discuss on the
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
there was something that
Black Lives Matter.
There was something that Mr. Machuca said that I do want to address. He said something I do want to address.
We will come back to that in 1 second.
You got less than a minute.
I got to turn this off. I'll be right back.
I want to hear it, so don't start. I want to hear it all.
All right, I'll be right back in about a minute.
Yeah, give me 5, because I got to piss. Give me 5, I got to piss.
All right, go piss.
Hey, do we have to back out? Do I have to back out too and re-go in? I don't know how this is.
I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to send it out to y'all, all right?
Okay.
They want to be included. But why are we right now? The biggest problem that we're having is separation. Everybody wants to be identify as this, identify that, and they'll make a special group. But now that group, they divide in half, and we got to make 2 groups. And everybody just wants to. I want to identify as a Siberian woman who's only 6 years old. But guess what? I can't. I was born a man. So that's you get to identify as what you were born as. You can't just choose what you want to be identified as, because that changes every other minute. They add new groups, so we can't make a new group for every single person that wants to be identified as something else. I'm sorry, that's just not the way it works. It's simple. Like, people just keep adding things. LGBTQ plus Q. There's like
I just call them alphabets, bro. I just call them alphabets. So, all right, Hunt, you said that you wanted to retort to some of the Black Lives Matter comments that were made.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going to paraphrase what Mr. Machuca said. Mr. Machuca asked,
"What the fuck is this Mr. Machuca bullshit?"
Hey, brother,
perpetrating like you are professional on that shit.
Yeah. So I was told that I was asked, why do I support a terrorist group like Black Lives Matter, right? But here's the deal: Christopher Wray, for y'all that don't know who he is a Trump appointee. He is the head of the FBI, said that the biggest threat to America is white terrorist groups, not Black Lives Matter, not Antifa. And last week, it was last week or the week before, there was a plot to kidnap Michigan's governor, who, by the way, has been attacked by Trump, right? Who are the ones doing this? This was they call it a white militia group. I call it a terrorist group. They had a plot to kidnap this woman. Trump has yet to come out and say these guys are terrorists. He has yet to come out and say anything about these people. This is a sitting U.S. governor who had a plot to kidnap her.
It's probably just like all of the other kidnappings that BLM claims. They're all fake. It's some kind of setup, some kind of scam. I don't know.
How is it fake? But there's but not only did so what happened was the prosecutors, they brought forth to the grand jury evidence of these guys training. And I got it. Hold on, listen. And they also brought text messages forward talking about just kidnap her at her summer home, kill her, and then kill yourself. These are text messages that the prosecutors brought to the grand jury to indict them. So you can't say this is not a credible threat. You can't say this was made up. Evidence was brought to the grand jury.
You have this crazy little sect of white people. It was 10 of them, would you say? 10, 15 people that decided they wanted to kidnap a Democratic senator, and somehow that's Trump's fault. But let's talk about it, because you say there's like some kind of proof of this. I can look on the news every single day and I see riots murders that BLM has done. They're out there killing people. So you're telling me that BLM is not a terrorist organization? They have caused billions of dollars in damage since the George Floyd fiasco. And you're telling me that they're not a terrorist organization? It'd be one thing if they were going after the boogeyman, the white man, but they're not. So BLM is out there destroying Black-owned businesses, killing Black people, and and somehow this few little white people that they claim they're right wing that are.
Let me jump in real quick, y'all. Check it out. I got a question. Being that we're discussing this now, George Floyd, BLM, white people, and I want to put this out there for those that are just listening to this podcast. There's not one white person amongst us in this group right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, Caucasian complete. You know, we got Cruz, we got
unquestionable
Chuka. Well, okay, just because Hunt's a little bit on the Oreo side.
Nah. Y'all know what it is.
So what I'm saying is we got four minorities here. We got four minorities here. So anyways, what I want to get at, what is your candidate specifically going to do? Because there's no denying that police brutality is existing. Now, are all police racist? No. Do I back all Blue Lives Matter? No. I don't call cops. I handle my own business. But with that said, what is your candidate specifically going to do to begin to police the police? Because there is a fucking problem with police brutality. Go ahead, Hunt. I'll let you start.
Well, it's simple. Like, there's this false narrative that's being thrown around that Joe Biden wants to defund the police. When Joe Biden is on the record of saying, I do not want to defund the police. I want to withhold federal aid for those departments who are not meeting basic standards, principles when it comes to dealing with people.
It's not the same thing.
He said, but if you're not upholding basic principles to give people,
if you don't give them their funding, aren't you defunding them?
You're not, because you said that I'm not. Defunding means unconditional. That means I don't give a fuck what you're doing. I'm still going to hold the money. Now, if I say, if you are meeting these basic guidelines to show that your department has the training, we did 357-1 training, and I got it how that went. But if we say that if your department is doing this training, there's no reason for you to fear not being defunded. If you are not doing the training to get people to realize that, listen, there's a better way to de-escalate a situation. There's a better way to escalate force than going straight to your gun, because we were in the same platoon. We had to write a lot of sworn statements, Jukes. You noticed in 2006, we had to write a lot of sworn statements. Yeah. So why are we not holding these cops, Americans, accountable and making sure they get the same training?
Why isn't the Black community holding themselves?
But you say that, but if you do the research,
why is it that BLM, their whole thing is that they want to stop police brutality. Meanwhile, Black on Black murders is through the roof.
Actually, if you look at the FBI statistics,
defunding the police is stupid. If anything, if that's what you want, then give them more money for better training. Those are what you want. You think they should be trained. Guess what? Training costs money, just like everything else in this world. They got to be trained. They need more money.
So can it be said that it's not defund the police, but reallocate the funds to proper training or reallocate it? So then the narrative, as you said, is defund the police, right? It should be reallocate funds. Now,
what you're talking about is dangling this carrot of like their livelihood in front of them. Like, oh, if you guys don't act right, you're not going to get your funding. We're going to take it and we're going to put it over here. But we know you guys aren't going to put it in schools because BLM doesn't do that. So let's not even talk about that.
With that said, Chooks, what is President Trump gonna do about curbing the police brutality? What has he done?
Well, he's already said on record, just like Trump, Hunt likes to say, he's on record saying 1,000,000 times over that they need more training, that they need more funding, and he's perfectly willing to have a discussion about how they should restructure or reallocate funds towards training. We're always open to discussions. You got to be able to talk, but to just outright defund and take away their money when instead you should be putting more money into it so there's more training. But Hunt wants to throw. He likes to throw. He wants to throw out this that.
All right, Cruz.
Let's talk about how many black people were killed by unarmed black people were killed by the police. How about 2019? How many was it? Do you know, Hunt?
Oh, we lost him.
We lost him.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
Do you know how many unarmed black men were killed by the police in 2019, Hunt?
Well, this is what I can say for 2019. According to FBI statistics, because one, there is no such thing as black on black crime. It is just crime. Black on black crime was first put in by Nixon. It was first put in by Nixon. Let me ask you this. Do we call it white on white crime? We don't. We call it crime. We don't say, I've never heard of Spanish on Spanish crime. It's called crime. When it comes to black people, it's black on black crime. Black on black crime was first, it was a phrase first said by Nixon. It was then after Reagan came through.
So according to that logic, it's okay that you guys kill each other all the time, but then as soon as a cop kills somebody, then it's wrong. But it's okay for everyone to just kill themselves.
No, it's not right for anybody to kill themselves. But it goes back to the fact that these are people in authority. If you like I said, you've had to write plenty of sworn statements as a non-commissioned officer.
Yeah,
you had to exercise your control not to just cap a motherfucker. You had to exercise. Listen, I'm using my escalation of force. So if we can do that as soldiers, we have to expect that these civilians do that to everybody else, and they don't just go to pulling their guns out. They
all
don't
right.
Okay, so I don't want to.
Okay, all right. Since you want to say that there's no black on black crime, that doesn't exist. Why don't we talk about the fact that the black Americans, although that term is dumb, Black Americans make up 13% of the population, but you account for 50% of the homicides?
Yeah. And just like we also account for more incarceration.
Given that stat, which you're not going to, you're just right, you're agreeing with it because it is an actual fact.
All right, gentlemen, let's pump the brakes here. Let's pump the brakes. Cruz has a new question. We're going to move on to a new topic because we're going to run out of time.
We're going to move on to a new topic. Yeah, because we'll be on this one. This is a whole podcast on its own. I got a million questions to add for this one. All right. So we were talking about science and we were talking about different groups a second ago. All right. And so Hunt, Biden just recently said in a speech or talk, I don't think it was a speech, it was a town hall maybe, I think it was, he supports 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds transitioning over.
Oh, hell to the motherfucking nah.
What do you think about that?
Yes. Well, this is what I think. Like, once again, like, I don't think it's his business to support it. That is a personal decision that not only that the parents need to have with their children. Like, it doesn't matter what, like, for him to come out and say that, I'm going to say that. You shouldn't do that. That's something that has to be in the house.
Okay, but let me tell you this. If your parents are having a discussion with you when you're 8 years old, if they're telling you that it's perfectly okay to chop your dick off, I don't want anything to do with your family. I promise.
Trust me. No, my family is traditional. They're traditional, like conservatives.
Okay,
conservative values.
Then why are you going to say that that's okay?
Because I don't judge people.
8 years old. I don't care if you judge people or not. He's 8 years old. You think they have the mental capacity to make a permanent decision like that? Something that's going to affect them for the rest of their life?
Okay. Let him.
All right. Let him
we're going to go
getting passionate.
Let him finish.
As a person, as I can only control what me and my kids do. I can't control what John Smith and his kids do. I can't control the conversations that they have. It doesn't even matter if I support it or not, because at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with the way I'm raising my kids. So who the fuck am I to tell these people that they can't do that? That's like them telling me that the way I'm raising my children to be is wrong.
Well,
I'm gonna be mad about it.
I'm gonna pump the brakes on that one right there, because that's one thing. I don't give a fuck what party believes. What a person decides to do with their fucking life is their life. Whatever's going on in their home is their home. However, I will caveat with this. If my fucking 10-year-old came to tell me something retarded like that, I'll probably slap the living shit out of her and tell her, you're 10, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Yeah, so also, hold on. I'm getting there. Break. You made me forget my train of thought, Hunt.
That doesn't mean they're gonna do it. You can't consent to them doing that, chopping their dick off at that age. You can't consent to that.
Right.
No one is saying that it's going to be consented. No one is saying it's going to be written in the law.
I think
I'm saying that I can't choose. I can't be mad at.
I think the question is though. The question is what it sounds like.
Where are they going to get the money from? And guess what? He wants.
If I'm correct, Cruz. Let me guess. The question was though. It was because Biden is a big science supporter, right? So he's supporting this idea that 10-year-olds or 8-year-olds are okay to make that decision. Is that what you're saying? Is that the question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how do you feel about that? Would it ever be better that Biden just said, you know what? That's not my fucking business. That's between themselves.
Okay. Well, let me ask you guys. Regardless, we can say someone's own business, and you're right. For adults, whatever they do in their own time, whatever they do, but like 5 to 10 years old, do they have the mental capacity to make that decision?
I've already said clearly, no, they don't. Not. And the fact that he wants
what's the government's role though? What is the government's role in fucking in stopping that?
The government doesn't have a role in controlling somebody's thought process. The government has the control of making sure that the parents do not do anything to that child until that child turns 18. That child can think whatever the fuck it wants to think. I don't care what this child thinks. As a parent, I'm not going to take my 10-year-old to go get his dick chopped off. That's what I'm not going to do. And that's what I think a lot of y'all are thinking is going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. And the government should make no laws. The government should make no laws authorizing anybody that is not over the 18 or above to do anything, change their sexuality, modify it in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Then why did Biden just?
No, you're right.
Nobody should discriminate against that process, meaning he's saying it's okay and he wants the American people to pay for these surgeries at 8 years old, 10 years old. Biden said it's perfectly awesome. We should be supporting. Nobody should discriminate against an 8-year-old child that wants to change his sex.
Just because I want to change it doesn't mean I'm going to make it.
Come on, don't make stuff up.
Go ahead, Cruz. Go ahead, Cruz.
I do want to say I'm perfectly fine with adults doing whatever they want to do. And just the issue, like what I'm just bringing up is just the idea of letting children do it who are that young, who haven't hit puberty yet, and what that's going to cause to their body, giving them puberty blockers and whatnot at 5 to 10. I think 8 to 10 was the 2 ages he used. So I don't want to add it. I don't want to add words to it. So.
Let me ask y'all another question now. Let's go ahead and move on to another topic that is big within this fucking election. Foreign policy, man. Where does Trump stand on foreign policy, and what do you see are his positives and negatives? Go ahead, Chooks.
I don't see any negatives. Positives. Well, we can start right down south at the wall. Building the wall to me it's a must. That's our biggest source of where terrorists come through, illegal drugs come through. All the child trafficking, sex trafficking that's going on, the southern border is the biggest cause of that. So by him making that wall, I don't know if you guys have seen the stats, but it's already dropped by like 50%. I forget what the exact number is. But since he started building that wall, people coming across that border illegally, all the smuggling, all the trafficking, it's already decreased by like 50%. Don't hold me to that 50%, but I know it's close.
All right. So what about his foreign policy as far as like with what's going on with China, what's going on with Russia?
Absolutely. He's doing the right thing with China. He's holding their feet to the fire. Biden has been apparently over there making all kinds of crazy deals to get money so that they could loosely own the United States. So he got rid of that, put tariffs on them so they have to pay, bring all those jobs back here to the United States. Biden was a huge part of pushing all those jobs. Biden and Obama pushing all the jobs away to China. Now we know for a fact, the Hunter Biden, the emails that's coming out, we know that China was giving millions to the Bidens.
All right. So with that,
bringing all the troops home. Beautiful.
Let's go ahead and let Hunt talk since he brought up Hunter Biden. I want to add this on there as well. When you get done with your answer, Hunt, on the foreign policy, what you think is going wrong, what's going right, and what Biden would do that'll be different. I want to tap on next after that as far as where is family allowed to be fucked with during a political season. But we'll touch on that next, just to get y'all preempted on that. All right, go ahead, Hunt.
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. At the beginning, Chooks, you said that Obama kept his promises. Trump kept his promises. Has Mexico paid for the wall? They have not paid for the wall. And on top of that, according to USA Today, not CNN, not MSNBC, but USA Today, September 17, 2020, 3 miles of wall have been built, and Mexico has not paid a penny. That is a promise not kept. This is according to USA Today.
I think the United States should happily pay for that wall out of our taxpayer money, knowing that it's going to stop even one child from getting trafficked across that border. It's worth every single penny.
Okay, I got that.
If Mexico pays for it later on, cool. But who cares? Americans should be happily chipping in on that wall.
You should care because you said that Trump kept his promises. So you should care because you said Trump kept his promises. Mexico has not paid for 3 miles of that border wall. Only 3 miles have went up. Once again, this is not coming from a liberal source, from the typical liberal source. USA Today is reporting this. That's number one. So what else do we talk about? Foreign policy. Trump's own intelligence agencies, his head of his intelligence agencies are saying there is something with Trump and Russia. Not only did Russia interfere in the 2016 election for Trump, they believe Dan Coates was the former head of the National Intelligence Agency. He said he believes, and remember, this is a Trump appointee.
He's already been debunked.
Dan Coates, how? Dan Coates is saying this. He says he believes that Russia does have something on
Just
Trump.
like I'm going to believe that Hunter Biden said he didn't know what his son was doing over there, right?
Well, I hope Hunter Biden. I would hope Hunter Biden's son is not in Ukraine because I'm pretty sure Hunter Biden's son is not old enough to be in Ukraine. But
you know what he meant, this motherfucker.
All right. So by the way, guys, hey, before you're talking about quotes from him and you've brought up some stuff too. Let's just stick to what we know 100% fact and not hearsay from what other people have done. And the Hunter Biden stuff is still out there. Yeah, I get there's some fishy going on. We know that, but it is still out there, and there's, we don't know the full details of everything yet. So let's try to stick with that. And then with the NSA thing, like we're saying, he said this, but without proof or anything, let's stay away from those things for the argument.
Don't worry about it. I got it coming up.
So with that said, fair game. Is family fair game during a presidential election? Now, if it is some kind of fucking corruption shit that's going on, I get that. But if it's, for example, how somebody got kicked out of the military for being a crack smoker, is that something that should be brought up against the president or the candidate who's going for president?
Absolutely not. Unless it turns out that son is then now overseas, possibly getting funds using his father's name. And absolutely, family, if you're going to put yourself in that position, then you become the target. If he was just a guy with drug problems, man, leave him alone. Okay. Let him handle it in their family. Absolutely.
All right.
But as he steps over and hops on Air Force 2, goes over there with his daddy and introducing him to all kinds of people and getting money paid off his name, then yes, he makes himself a target. Okay. Otherwise, no, family's off.
Go ahead.
Other than that, like I don't support like when it comes to the kids who are adults, I don't fucking care. But I don't support I just want to throw this fucking what's Barron Trump? I don't think people should talk shit about. He is a kid. He is still a kid. Okay, so
can I rebut that? Okay, so
yes.
If you want to talk though, I mean, Eric, Donald Jr., Ivanka, have at them.
Yeah, I think so.
They're in they put themselves in a position to where they are part of the game. So go ahead, investigate them all you want. Smear them, try all you want.
So,
all right,
you said investigate.
Let's get this because I got a question for Chooks. So
hold on, I got to rebut this.
Yes, go ahead.
So once again, we're talking about like family members using and abusing their family name for political reasons, right? Ivanka Trump has been in violation of the Monument Clause. In May of 2018, China has awarded Ivanka Trump 7 trademarks for business. That is a violation of the Monument Clause, but she is still a senior advisor to Trump to this day.
Okay, so that's not the question. That's not the question. I was talking about Hunter Biden, how people are going after him because he's a fucking drug addict.
No.
Now,
but
as far as the other motherfuckers,
Chooks said that if that person is benefiting off of their family being in office, then that's fair game. So once again, China awarded her 7 trademarks, and this was back in 2018. 2 years after Trump has been in office.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that you might not know. The Trumps were billionaires before they ever got into politics.
Brother, that's not what I said.
She was born rich, she will die rich.
But that's not no.
Born rich, they will die rich.
That's not it.
The Bidens were all fucking.
Hold on.
No.
And now somehow they're all rich.
Let him finish, too.
The remark was while she was a senior advisor, which is a violation of the emolument clause. She received 7 trademarks from China. That is a violation. But everybody wants to say that Hunter Biden did this with Ukraine. If he is guilty of doing that with Ukraine, because Ivanka Trump got 7 trademarks from China, she is guilty of violating the emoluments clause. Just like y'all want to say Hunter Biden is. And remember, this is in.
So I'm not a lawyer, so but that needs to be. That's something that needs to be handled in the courts.
Then Ivanka should go to jail.
Yeah.
If it's true about Hunter, he should go to jail. But guess what?
Right. So gentlemen,
right.
That's the type of shit that belongs in the courts, though. I mean, we could bring out all these allegations, or but that's what the courts are for, right?
All right. So, yes, you're. All right. Next question. All right. This one's for Chiefs, all right. Now, this I'm going to talk because I know people who are like this. Okay. Say what?
No, go ahead.
All right, my shit cut out. All right, so let's move on. That's another one that's just gonna. All right, so I say this because I know Republicans who are like this. A lot of Republicans are turned off by Trump's the way he talks, Trump's Twitter fingers. They kind of get a little wild at nighttime, and some of the stuff he says, the way he comes comes off. He comes off as arrogant, especially in his Twitter feed. What do you have to say hey guys, I got it, but you should still get. What do you have to support that or to defend him with that?
To anybody who's been offended by his tweets, I say fucking man the fuck up, grow a pair of balls, whatever. It's tweeting. If you take offense to that to the point where you can't function and you see all these people having these rages, oh my God, who cares? It's his personal Twitter. Who cares? Yes, he's the president. He shouldn't be tweeting as much. He's got a foul mouth. Who cares? He gets the job done consistently. He's been doing it, and
a lot of do it. Okay. So even though a lot of people do perceive it as unpresidential,
who cares? Look at what being a typical politician has done to this country. Look at the point where we're at right now, and you tell me you want somebody that's polished and is going to play the political game? No, we want the exact opposite because as a country, we're fucked right now.
Okay, I think Hunt's ready to
somebody
talk.
Who's not coming from that background to get in there.
Hunt's ready because I seen him get off his phone. I think he was fact checking shit. So go ahead, Hunt, bring it on.
Put that phone away for a minute.
He's over there right now.
No, this is all fact checked. This all has to be fact checked in real time.
Hey, what we don't know, what we don't know is that Hunt works for Facebook and Zuckerberg. He's one of the fact checkers.
Yeah, this motherfucker screenshotting my stuff's about that.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right? Lil Wayne said it best. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Right? I don't need to brag and boast and try to be the loudest person in the room. Case in point, how many people know about Operation Stutzman? I'll take that as
it's not ringing a bell right now.
Operation Stutzman.
Okay, look. No, because we're not on Google right now. But go ahead.
This has to do with what I'm saying about moving in silence, and you don't need to just be the biggest person in the room. You don't need to just say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and my Twitter fingers need to do this. Operation Stutzman was an operation that was carried out. Nobody in the Obama administration warned about it. Nobody was Twittering about it, but it caused havoc on Iran. And it came out to light a few years ago. Obama didn't need to go on to Twitter and saying, oh, Iran, guess what? Y'all might want to look out because y'all keep fucking up and some shit's about to happen. And he didn't need to do that. Moved in silence. He was a G who moved in silence like lasagna. And I want everybody to check that when we get done. Operation Stutzman is spelled Stuxnet.
I have no reason not to believe you, so I don't need to fact check it.
No,
all right.
To me, that doesn't.
So what ended up happening with that? I mean, what happened?
That's all you want. It doesn't matter.
I want to know what happened with this operation. What was the end?
So Operation Stutzman started happening. It originally happened in 2010, right? So if you remember the time, Iran was.
Who died?
No one died.
So,
but what happened was, this was when Iran was having those problems with their centrifuges. If you remember, they said that those centrifuges kept spinning up and spinning up and spinning up and exploding. That was because of Operation Stutzman. Operation Stutzman was this mega computer virus it infiltrated Siemens technology.
Yeah.
Now, was this something that was authorized by the Congress?
It was authorized
right,
as a
so
covert
your
act
point is that
between.
we haven't heard about it, so that's how it should be, right? They should operate in silence. Obviously, none of us have heard about it. It's a non-existent little thing, and that's
But you
how
can
the
look at it.
president's supposed to act,
Yeah,
right?
he's not supposed to
talk,
be on Twitter just talking about
or
different
he could just say, rather than actually get us in. He's the first president that hasn't gotten into a war. Instead of like Obama, whoever, they all just push, hey, let's just go invade, let's go invade.
Obama didn't get us on the
You're
war.
saying he should do stuff in silence. I think he should do exactly what he did. Take out the individual terrorists one by one. So we
But Obama didn't get us in the war. He actually got us out of war.
Okay, all right. Hey, I don't want to continue to do so an Obama
We got
thing either.
10 minutes. 10
All right,
minutes.
so, hey,
remaining.
real quick. All right. Okay, Hump. Speaking, but I will bring up this about Obama, but nothing about his presidency. Joe Biden announced his candidacy April 25th of 19, right? Why did Barack Obama wait until April the following year to endorse it?
Well, Obama waited for the fall, in my opinion, because I'm not the one and only, can't nobody clone him, Barack Obama.
Thank God.
Because he wanted to try to, he knew there were different candidates out there. And he wanted the best one that the American people chose to run for president.
Whoa.
No.
Are you telling me the best American people chose Biden?
The best one that the American people wanted without any undue influence from him. Because you see, here's the deal. The way that a lot of these Trumpers follow Trump blindly with their head up their asses, let's face it, there's a lot of people that follow Obama blindly with their head up their asses.
I'm looking at
Biden wouldn't be where he
No.
is.
Because there were things that Obama did that I didn't agree with. And I've said that numerous times.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
But yeah, so he wants to, listen, may the best man win. May the odds be in your favor. Hunger Game style. So after he got the nominee, he was like, fuck it, this is my dude. You know what I'm saying?
All right. What do you think, Chooks?
No, you already know what I think. I think Obama didn't want to endorse him because he's garbage. He's VP. He'll make an even worse president, and he didn't want to endorse him because there was quite a few more qualified people to run it, and he didn't want to choose Biden. He was forced to. Honestly, I believe he was forced to. That's just me and my conspiracy part.
All right. So for the next
no options.
5 minutes, I want to discuss one thing. I want y'all opinion. Is the left leading to socialism? Why or why not? That's for both of you.
I'll start. Absolutely. You don't have to say anything more than what happened just this past couple of days with the whole Hunter Biden emails. What was the first thing that happened? Facebook banned. They censored it. Twitter censored it. Guess what they do in China? They do that same thing. So yeah, we're headed right in that way. So their big push is they want everybody to have free healthcare, right? Free education. Where else do you hear those things right there? Free education, free healthcare. Yeah, socialist countries.
I'm sure we can all agree there's nothing free in socialism.
There's absolutely. You pay with your dignity, pride, and your life, your self-respect. Because guess what?
All right, go ahead, Hunt.
Yeah, you guys by now.
So
I'm gonna use that line. I like that last one. Go ahead, Hunt.
Like, you talk about they're doing this like in China, but Trump has repeatedly praised China's Xi Jinping. He's repeatedly praised North Korea. These socialist country dictators, he praised them. But you're worried about this country turning into the same exact thing that the leader of the free world is praising. That makes no sense to me. That's an oxymoron.
Keep your enemies close. What is your friends close? Your enemies closer?
I don't need to make
right?
All right.
So no, he said that, right? No.
We're playing checkers.
I have to say this.
Go ahead.
You said keep your friends close, your enemies closer, right? Do you know that when Barack Obama wanted to have talks with North Korea, the conservative population, to include Fox News, said that was the worst thing that American president could do. But when Trump did it, it was the best thing since sliced bread.
And on that note, we're going to check this out. All right. We got 5 minutes left. So what I want to go ahead and do is end with closing statements from each one of you, letting us know uninterrupted why, if for those who haven't made up their mind yet, who are leaning towards Joe Jorgensen or some other third party, let me know why they should vote for your candidate. We started off with Chooks. We're going to start off with Hunt this time. Go ahead. 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Did it? I thought it started off with me. So you want me to go? Okay, here's the deal. This is what I'm going to tell you, people. I can tell you everything till I turn blue in the face, but this is what I will tell you. Look up Mr. Taylor. Look up Miss Olivia Troy. These two people were people that worked alongside of the Trump administration during the COVID crisis. Miss Olivia Troy was one of the right-hand women to Mike Pence. Miles Taylor, he was he worked for Homeland Security. He was Deputy Secretary to the Homeland Security. He talked about how they went out of their way not to bring up Russia, white supremacy, and the only thing that they were mainly allowed to brief the president on was Antifa and Black Lives Matter. So don't listen to what I have to say. Google the names, look up what they have to say. These are Trump appointees coming out and saying this, people. Miles Taylor, Olivia Troy. I can tell you all the facts that I have till I'm blue in the face, but look those people up and see for yourself what they have to say.
And you're done. I'm up. You're up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You got 2 minutes, Dukes.
All right. I don't have Hunt just tell you, go look these people's names up. Guess what? I don't have to tell you to look up anybody. Go watch Biden himself tell you that the American people don't deserve to know whether he's going to pack the Supreme Court. In case you don't know what packing the Supreme Court's going to do, it's going to throw off the entire 3 branches of government that have made our country what it is. That's made it great, is the 3 executive branches of government. So they want to pack the Supreme Court with extra judges, so it's always going to lean with liberal rulings. He wants to get rid of the Electoral College, which again will destroy everything that we have here as a constitutional republic. It will it all. I don't need you to go look up anybody's name. Just go watch Biden himself, and he'll tell you all of these things. Just packing the court.
All right.
List.
All right.
Trump, he makes promises, he keeps promises. He's done more for every part of this United States of America than anybody short of Abraham Lincoln. You heard it a million times because he's done so much. The list goes on. His things that he's accomplished, and he's been under investigation for 4 years. Every CNN, they don't give him anything but negative coverage. MSNBC, nothing but negative coverage. So every time he does something good, they don't do anything.
We're running out of time here.
Great. He's going to continue to do great. Trump 2020 all day.
Right on. All right. And I see Hunt really wants to get it out, but unfortunately, my man, we are down to the last 2 minutes of this show. So I want to go ahead and thank you both for being here today. You guys, awesome as always. Brought it like it was supposed to be brought in. Fucking
appreciate you having me.
Oh no, I appreciate both of y'all being here. Hunt, don't worry. You're on the fucking Shoot the Shit Saturday this weekend, remember? So I know you're gonna go off on there. So anyways, y'all, hey, thank you for being here. Cruz, awesome with the questions, man. You kicked ass, rock on. We try to stay here, as you can see, as middle of the line as possible and let you guys sell it. You know what I'm saying? So if for those that watch this, I appreciate y'all. For those that listen to this tomorrow or when it's on a podcast, thank you. Hey,
Trump 2020.
Riding with Biden. Riding with Biden, baby. Juice, hey. I do need to hit you up because I need a huge favor from you, though.
I got you.
I need information. I'll hit you up either on Instagram or what's it called, okay?
Look, if y'all want, once this finishes, I'll send one more meeting out so we can just wrap this up between us. All right? So let me go ahead and finish this shit out. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening here to On the Gunline podcast, the great delegate debate moderated by your host Lopez and co-host JC Cruz. Thank you for over here to Mr. Chooks and Mr. L Hunt. Y'all were both fucking awesome. Y'all brought it. I wish y'all nothing but the best. May the best candidate win. And with that said, here on the Gunline, y'all brought it, baby. Rounds complete. And a mission. Gunline out.
Thanks, y'all.